Hey folks, welcome back to another review with yours truly, Sam Healey. Today, we're taking a look at this guy right here, Hero Realms, the fantasy successor to Star Realms from White Wizard Games. Now, is it just a re-theme, or does it have its own legs that it can stand on? I'm really excited to get this one down to the table and show you. So without further ado, let's get to it. So here we have a two-player game of Hero Realms set up for you, and we have the green player and the red player. You have your fire gems, which are your generic cost card, which costs 2 each. Then you have your market here of 5 cards and the deck, and then you have a space for sacrificing cards there next to the deck. Each player starts with a 10-card deck made up of a short sword, a dagger, a ruby, and 7 gold. Those are shuffled together, and the player that goes first takes a hand of 3 cards, the next player takes a hand of 5 cards, and then 5 cards will be your draw for each turn after that. The whole point of Hero Realms is to get your opponent's health down to 0. Each person starts with 50 health, and they are tracked with using these little these 2 cards here, which are much better than the cards that came in Star Realms. So on my first turn, I have a whopping 3 gold to play, so I will play that down into my area, which adds 3 gold to my gold pool, and I can use these to purchase these different cards. Now, the different cards are made up of different things. Some are champions, as you can see here. The Master Vampire is a champion. Some of them are actions, like this one right here, Profit, where it gains me 2 gold, and so forth and so on. Then you also have cards that have a ally symbol, which means that if you have 2 of the same kind of card, and this is one of them, it gives you an extra ability that you can do on the end of your turn, or during the course of your turn, rather. If you have a card in your play area with an expendability, you would basically expend it to gain that ability here. And then if you had any other cards that are the same faction in your hand at that specific point, you'd also get to do this down here. But the expendability is only for that top part. Some of your champions, well, all of your champions will have either a white or silver shield and a dark shield. The dark shield says guard above it, which means that this card must be attacked first before any other cards or before the owner of that card can be attacked. And this is the amount of damage that has to be done to that champion in order to stun them, or basically put them back into your discard, the owner's discard pile. You also have some cards, like the recruit action here, that give you multiple abilities or multiple uses. For example, this one gives you 2 gold and heals 3 of your health points. And it also gives you +1 for each champion you have in play. So it could be more health. If you have, again, the ally ability gives you 1 extra gold. So there are all kinds of different cards here. If you have played Star Realms by White Wizard Games, then you're probably already kind of savvy on what's going on here, because this does play very similarly to that, except it has a fantasy theme. So with my 3 gold here, I'm able to purchase 1 of the cards here. I could purchase the Orc Grunt because it has a purchase cost of 3. The Cult Priest is the same. The Prophet is 1, and the Recruit is 2, so I could purchase both of those. And whenever you do purchase a card, for example, I'm going to go ahead and purchase Prophet. That automatically refills, and then I'm going to go ahead and purchase Recruit as well, and then that automatically refills. Once you have all of the cards that you're going to purchase, they go into your discard pile, and now it's your opponent's turn. On my opponent's turn, they only drew gold cards. They purchased 1 of the cards here and 1 of the fire gems, and now it comes back to my turn. I draw the top 5 cards off of my deck, and I look at them, and here we go. We have 2 attack And then we have 4 gold. All right, so I'm going to be able to attack my opponent for 2, which will rotate and then go down to 48 from 50, like so. And then I have 4 gold to purchase. I'm going to go ahead and purchase the Cult Priest, which is 3. Then this will automatically refill. And I have 1 gold left over, but none of the cards are worth 1 gold, so that is the extent of my purchasing ability. Those go into my discard pile, and that's the end of my turn. And so now on Red's turn, they have their hand of 5 cards, and one of those is a champion. Now the champion goes in play in front of you and stays in play in front of you. Again, a guard. The guard ability here denotes that if my opponent attacks either my deck or any of my other champions, he has to hit this champion first. And then we also have some gold, a fire gem, an action, close ranks, and a short sword. So what we're going to do here is we're definitely going to expend him for his 2 attack ability. He doesn't have any other allies, so he can't use his draw card. So he has 2, 4. This one gives 5 plus 2 for each champion you have in play. So this is 7 because of my 1 champion that is in place. That's 4, 11, and so that's 11 damage for green, which they're going to have to take. And then I have 3 gold here, which we will use to purchase the bribe card. And then I'm going to sacrifice this card to give an extra 3 damage, which brings it back up to 14 damage that I'm doing on my turn. And then it's the end of my turn, and this will prepare for my next turn, and then these will go into my discard pile like so. Back on green's turn, they draw their 5 cards, and we're going to go ahead and put our own champion in play, the Cult Priest, and then we're also going to be playing Recruit, Prophet, a gold, and another attack card, the short sword here. So I'm going to have 2, 3, 4, 5 gold to spend. This should have been replaced from last turn. So I've got 5 gold to spend. I'm going to go ahead and take the Rot, which is 3, and Intimidation, which is 2, bringing it to 5. And these will go into my discard pile. Now I also get to heal 3, which is important because I just got smacked around a bit. So we go back up to 36 there. Plus 1 for every champion I have in play. So the Cult Priest happens with that as well. So we go up to 37. Don't have any allies, so these don't do me any good. So these are done. Then I'm going to go ahead and tap this one. I'm sorry, expend that one for 1 damage plus my 2 damage here, so that's 3 altogether, making him go down to 44. And then this goes in my discard pile. This guy prepares for the next round. And that's how you play Hero Realms, and that goes that way until one or the other character is down to 0 hit points, and whoever does that loses, the other person wins, and that is Hero Realms in a nutshell. As you may be able to have already noticed, the artwork on these cards is absolutely amazing. If you can just take a look at some of these here, it's just really neat. And the effects that the cards have are rather thematic as well. It doesn't just feel like a fantasy theme strapped over Star Realms. It does use the same engine that Star Realms uses, but a lot of the effects that they have are very fantastical in their theming. So I think there's enough differentiation between the 2 games. So there's a whole lot of different kinds of cards here, different effects that they have, and all of the artwork is really, really good. Some of it is a little bit better than the others, but all of them together are very well done. So just a lot of good things going on here. Not anything really to say anything bad about, really. I mean, this is just really nice artwork, and it's very thematic, and it gives you a lot of depth into the game as far as your imagination is concerned. So that is the artwork. Now, another thing that they've done for Hero Realms that I thought was really cool was the character packs that come that are sold separately. The Cleric, Thief, Wizard, Fighter, and Ranger. You'll notice that first of all, it comes with a character card, and it is double-sided. If you want a male cleric, you can have that guy, or if you want a female cleric, you can have that one. It has each of them have a different starting health point value, so that's a little bit of differentiation there. They have their own cards for keeping track of life, and then they also have 2 cards that are special cards that are like special abilities that only they can do. So for example, the cleric here has the Bless ability, which if you tap it and then, expend it and then spend 2 gold, the target player gains 3 health, and that player's champions gain +1 defense until the end of their next turn. All right, so that's a pretty cool ability that the cleric can do. And then also Resurrect. You can put a champion from your discard pile into play. You can use this ability only on a champion that was stunned since your last turn. And this is a sacrifice ability. So this is a once per game ability that the person can use, but the cleric can do this once per turn. So that's a pretty interesting thing to do. And then it also has a starting hand for that specific player. Usually it has, I believe it's, this one has 6 gold. Some of them only have 5. But then you also have like your own little champion that you can bring in, your specific weapon, a spiked mace, another champion, a follower, and then some prayer beads for that cleric themed deck. And so this is a pretty interesting concept that they came up with for Hero Realms that I thought was really, really cool. So that's another thing that you can do to kind of spice up your Hero Realms. So that is Hero Realms from White Wizard Games. I really could not be happier with this game than I was expecting to be. I like the fact that they really didn't change a whole lot, although they did make a little tweaks here and there with the game from Star Realms. Star Realms is a game that I already enjoyed, so I was very, very intrigued when I heard that they were making a fantasy version of that game. The artwork is phenomenal. I mean, very well done artwork. Some of it is a little bit better than the others, but it all congeals rather well. You know, some games have those when different artists go at the project, you can kind of tell that this artist is a little bit better than that artist, and so forth and so on. But you can do that a little bit here, but it's not anywhere as bad as some games have been. It's all done in a very a very professional manner. All of the different artists, I think, did a very good job in making the art look very similar. You can still tell differences, but it's very similar. So I really did enjoy the artwork here. The gameplay is what you would expect being a fantasy successor to Star Realms. It's very much the same as far as what you can do on your turn and how you do it. So there aren't any curveballs or surprises there. That's a good thing in my opinion. But I do like how they've come in with a lot of different ways to play. Kind of, you would almost look at it like scenarios to play the different player counts and so forth and so on. You can play team play with just 2-on-2. You can play a 3-player game with a special scenario. You can play just free-for-all, anywhere from 2 to 4 players. And they even have an Emperor version that would require 2 copies of the game or 1 copy of the game and the champion, the character decks that are available as well. So, and that's really intriguing because it's 3-on-3, and one person in the middle is the commander. with his subordinates on the side. His subordinates can attack the person only that is across from them, and then once that person is done, they can start attacking the other commander, and whichever commander loses first is the loser. Basically goes down to 0 points is the loser. So there's a lot of good things that are coming in here from Hero Realms. I'm really glad that I got a copy of it, and I'm really happy to be able to share it with you here today. This is going to be right beside Star Realms on my shelves. It will not go anywhere. My family already enjoys it. My son did say that he thinks he likes the sci-fi version a little bit better, but I think that's just a preference, a taste that he has for sci-fi, not any kind of difference between Hero Realms and Star Realms. He was able to catch on very quickly, and my wife enjoyed it as well. So there's a lot of good playability here from Hero Realms, White Wizard Games. So we'll see you guys on the flip side.